Welcome to the What the Podcast, where anything can happen. The hosts and guests remain anonymous to protect the innocent and the guilty. The views and opinions shared here are not the views and opinions of the sponsors, but they should be.
All right, we're back for another episode with the podcast. Got Shocker, Grumpy.
What's
How you
up?
doing, guys? All right.
Splendidus.
All right. Well, I didn't know if we were ever going to get this episode done because our real jobs are interfering with trying to record this. So I guess until we make a hell of a lot of money doing this, we're stuck. But it is what it is. But yeah, and of course Grumpy joins late because he's having a three-way fight with Amazon and American Express. So Grump. Tell us what you've been dealing with.
Well, I can go back and tell a little bit of the story on this because I get a
There's always a story. Always,
sure,
always.
sure. Well, I get a text message. It was hey, did you make this charge? Kind of a text message from Amex back in January. And I'm thinking, there's so much spam with these texts these days. You don't know what to believe, and what not to believe. But since I happen to have an American Express account, it kind of added up. And so I went logged in and checked it out, and sure enough, uh, some Bitcoin company or broker had charged my account for $4,000 or $5,000, and so I call them, and Amex was great about it. They were like, "Oh yeah, okay, well that's what we thought. Didn't look like you." I'm like, "Yeah, no, that ain't me. I'm not the Bitcoin guru that some may think I am." So that means that um, you got to get a new card. They can't just reverse that one charge. Oh, it's compromised. You need to get a new card. I'm like, okay. So they did that, and they're usually pretty quick about it. No big deal. But long story short, over the course of time, um, my Amazon account never updated to the correct Amex. Although I do find it interesting that Amazon would allow purchases against that card, and it would flow down to the correct card, but they couldn't track the points. Yeah, of course, that would be too easy. So yeah, that's what kicked that off. So trying to use some points to buy some pointless things, and trying to get that link back up, and that's been an ordeal so far. Once you attempt to try to get into your account and not remembering your password, which is, I mean, I think the greatest thing on the planet is Google passwords. Until somebody figures out how to hack that, then I'm screwed. So
I've been caught in this password debacle so many times. I've got it going on right now. I travel a good bit. Love Marriott. Try to stay Marriott whenever I can. Venture off to Hilton and some others occasionally. But my Marriott Bonvoy account is linked to about 6 jobs ago, which is 6 emails ago and 6 phone numbers ago. And so I just have to get a printout every time I'm checking out from Marriott, scan it,
Oh,
put it in my
PIA,
expense management program. They're like, "Would you
yeah,
like that emailed?" Oh, I'd love to have it emailed, but y'all can't seem to get it updated in the system. So the password circle, I try to go in and update my profile, put in my current, go through all the steps, right? What does it say at the end? We'll send a verification to your job email that's in our system from 6 jobs ago to verify this. Like, how the hell am I supposed to do that?
yeah.
Like, can't the system like read my retina or something important? I actually saw a funny post yesterday that said a hacker called and said, "Man, I've got all of your IDs and passwords for all your accounts. We're gonna need X dollars to turn this over." She's like, "Great, hold on a minute. I'm getting a pen and paper. I got to write all those down." Secret
I
vault.
had that's awesome. I had a account with Verizon for years. I mean, like 10 years. And I decide, similar to what you're talking about, Shocker, I decide I'm going to add another device to that account after years and years and years. And they said, great, we'll order the device. We're going to ship it to you. It's fantastic. It'll be there overnight. You'll have it tomorrow. I'm like, all right, perfect, perfect, sounds good. Well, 2 days goes by. I have nothing. So I call them, and they said, well, we canceled that order. Supervisor canceled it. I said, okay. Um, well, can we try it again? And they said, sure. So they do it again, same routine, have it within a day or two. Doesn't show up again for 3 days. So I call them and I said, what the hell? I mean, what's the problem? Same deal. They had an email that was probably 8 or 10 years old that I have no longer access to it. And they're sending verifications to that email. And they told me, they said, we're going to have to send you a form to update your email associated with the account. I'm like, well, okay. I said, that's that's stupid, but okay. So they send me the form. I send the form in. 2 weeks goes by, nothing. Hadn't heard a word. And so called one more time. I said, I'm going to try one more time. And same routine. They haven't updated the email. And I said, great. I said, I got a solution for this. They said, what's the solution? I said, I'm going to log into my account because I can't actually log in because my login email is different than the email that you're sending verifications to, which makes no freaking sense.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to go in there and delete all my auto payment credit cards. And when you decide you want to be paid in a couple of months, why don't you give me a call and I'll exchange with you? I'll give you a credit card and you can give me my updated email address. How's that?
The
They didn't
problem
they,
is,
they didn't find that funny.
yeah, the problem is these hacker criminals have created headaches for all of us, right?
Oh yeah.
Pain in the ass hackers. Barney, you heard this story forever ago. This was early days of eBay, and we probably were all at our ages, eBay fans at one time or another, and maybe still occasionally. I don't know. I don't know the last time I ordered something off eBay, but early on, there was a hacker on there, and I can't remember the full backstory, but they basically were trying to get me to, submit information. It was a broken, grammar response to something I had posted, and so I was fed up this day. So I decided to reply on there after an exchange or two, and then I realized, all right, they're not legit. I was learning the hacker ways back then too. So I decided to tell them that I would love to meet them in a dark alley and have nothing but a 2x4 and beat the piss out of them for hours on end. And so do you remember this story, Barty? I felt,
I do.
I felt so accomplished and good. And I remember telling Barty and telling some others at the time, like, I seriously wish I could find this person because I would kill him. And and so I go to bed, single at the time, living there, small little, 3-2 gated community. Well, about 1 in the morning, I hear da, 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 on my front door. Well, I wake up out of a slumber like, who the fuck is beating? Uh-oh. The guy threatened with the 2x4. He tracked me down. So
Holy
I
crap.
so I do like any good, red-blooded American should. I get my pistol. I'm in my underwear, make my way to the front door, load one, and I swing open the door, and here's this guy looking at me, this dumbass look on his face, at 1:30 in the morning. Sir, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing banging on my door? You're going to get killed. Obviously, you're not the guy I expected, and I don't want to kill you. What are you doing? Do you know where the so and so's live? I was like, no. So I closed the door. Being a bad, ignorant, single young man, I didn't really converse with my neighbors a whole lot. I roll out next morning to go to work. This poor guy, his car's in the neighbor's driveway right next door to me. He was just beating on the wrong door. But anyway, hackers create problems for us.
Well, one of my favorite things, and guys, you know this. I live out in the country, on more than 100 acres. So if there's somebody in my driveway, they better have a reason to be in my driveway.
Yep.
And I have met one guy one time with an AR-15 pistol, and it scared the shit out of him. And I told him, I said, "Well, you're lucky because if I didn't recognize that it appeared you were in a delivery van, you would have had a red dot on your chest when you actually saw me." Because I have that sitting next to the bed just in case. Never actually had to pull it out and use it, but it's there.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll add a. We're kind of getting off on the difficulties of getting easy things done. There's two parts to this story. And you're talking about work phones. So oftentimes, you get a job and a phone comes with that job, and I have a personal phone, and I don't mix the two. I haven't mixed the two in 20 years. So sometimes I carry two phones. Anyway, the employer that I just left provided an iPhone. That was great. And I had pulled over for a Monday morning meeting when I had borrowed an F-250 from a friend of mine to move a truck project that I had been working on. It was a Friday or a Monday morning. I think it was a Monday morning. I had this 8 o'clock call Monday morning because my boss thought that was a good idea. Um, that's going to change everything, let me tell you. So I go through this call, and I had my earbuds in, and um, at the end of the call, I hang up, I get in the truck, and I go about some of the things I'm doing that day. And then I realize at the end of the day that I didn't know where my phone was. And so I do what anybody does. I get on Find My Phone. Now I had an Apple ID. I have two Apple IDs, one for a personal phone and one for my work phone. So I knew the Apple ID for the work phone and started using Find My Phone to try to find the phone. No phone. Wasn't showing up, wasn't appearing. Don't know why, how, or what. So about 48 hours goes by, and I report it to my employer, who I had given notice to the week before. Um, and I'm coming up on the last part of my 2 weeks, so it's time to turn the phone in. And I don't have it. So uh, the IT guy, although he really wasn't an IT guy, thought, "Oh, well, I'll find it. What's your Apple ID password?" I'm like, "Okay, dilemma." So I give him I mean, I don't buy anything with it, but I'm not comfortable giving anybody my password for my Apple ID account. But I'm the bad guy. I lost the phone. We're trying to find it. I'll be a team player. I give him my password. He goes in and find my iPhone, and guess what? Couldn't find it. Brilliant, jockey! Like I hadn't already tried that. So he's like, "Oh, I can't find it." I'm looking at it. I said, "If you can do this," and like I've already logged in the Apple ID on my laptop. I've looked for it. It's not there. I get that. So I don't hear anything back from him. So, my employment's over like the next Friday. Couple of weeks goes by. Well, I'm filing my last expense report, and they said, "Well, we'll just charge you for the phone. We'll deduct it from your expense report." I'm like, "Okay, my bad. I lost the phone. You know, maybe it had some insurance, would have been nice, but okay, whatever. I'll pay for it. I like a nice, easy, go to the next thing." And I get a call about a week later from the guy I borrowed the F-250 from, and I had gone through that truck trying to find it. When I returned the truck at the end of that day and go back to my car, that's when I realized I didn't have the phone anymore. So I went all through that F-250 trying to find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. He goes, sends me a text. "Hey, you missing a phone?" I'm like, "As a matter of fact, I am." He goes, "Well, I found it." "So where'd you find it?" He goes, "On the back bumper."
What?
On the back bumper of the F-250. And I can tell you that truck went from Columbia, Tennessee to Ashland City, back, and then back to Michael, who I borrowed it from.
Nah,
And
there's
then
no
sat on
way.
that rear bumper for 2 weeks before Michael found it.
There's
And
no way.
wait for the no way. This absolutely happened. There's no other. He had it. He goes, "Yeah, I found it on the back bumper." I said, is it working? Because it had rained, it had done a lot of things in those 2 weeks, and that truck was sitting outside, not inside. And he goes, well, I put it in some rice, but it appears to turn on. I'm like, sweet. I can return the phone now.
He's like, can you tell me your Apple ID and password?
So I went over there, picked it up, charged it up. It works. It's fine. Logged into it. Everything's there, blah, blah, blah. I text my boss, my ex-boss, from my personal phone. I said, hey, guess what? No response from him. I said, hey, guess what? No response from him. Then I say, hey, I found the iPhone. I'm going to send it to you today. If you could send me a check for what you did deducted, that'd be great. No response. Mailed it to him. I get a receipt in the email, says, hey, it's been delivered. Text him again. Hey, I see the phone's been signed for. You got it. Let me know the time frame, on a check. Don't hear back from him. Then about 3 days later, I follow up again and he sends back, says, yeah, I talked to the owner of the company and he doesn't care. So we're just going to send you your phone back. So I get the phone back. I'm like, all right. Didn't need an extra phone, but my mom's been bitching about her phone. So maybe I'll upgrade her to this new phone. So, okay, found a solution to that problem. And I pay my parents' cell phone bill. So they complain to me when they don't like something. So I meet her at the Verizon store with the new phone, only to find out that they've locked it down, the company in Illinois, and I can't do anything with it. I don't have any authority. It's on their account, blah, blah, blah. So that was a pisser. The
So
second part of the pisser story is, have you ever gone through the process of trying to change your password on an Apple ID with a phone that you don't physically have? It's impossible.
No.
They can't verify that the phone is actually yours. And then the every verification I was trying to get was going to the phone that was in Illinois. And I didn't, so I was stuck. I said, okay, look, Apple, you guys are geniuses. I'm stuck. I've told you all the information. So what are we going to do now? He goes, well, we have a process. I said, great. What's the process? Well, you go to this URL and you put in your information,
your
and
Apple ID and password.
then you wait for 3 weeks. And at the end of 3 weeks, we'll send you a temporary passcode to the Apple account. You then can go in and change your password to the new password.
What's the reason for 3 weeks?
I
They
have
like
no
checking
idea.
police reports to see if it's been stolen or something?
I, I guess it's just to let it sit. I don't know. I don't know.
It's right
But
up
that
there
was
with the 50 approvals required by the previous Department of Education.
exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
Perfect sense.
50 approvals? What? Yeah, 3 weeks. That sounds like a
Yeah.
great time frame. Let's just set it at that.
Oh, don't kick people when they're unemployed, Mike. Come on.
I'm not kicking the people who got unemployed.
They had a great gig.
I'm
Man,
kicking
do you,
everybody for allowing it for however long it went on. I mean, absurd.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, I agree with that.
No other
That-
businesses can run like the government runs.
No, of
I mean,
course
name
not.
one.
Doesn't work that way. Yeah, some of the stuff that Doge found is just fascinating. Ah, just the waste and the stupidity, but there's never a discussion about who was responsible for it.
Nor do I believe they're going to do anything about it.
I'm not
And
sure they're going to.
if we have any hope, it's right now, because the guy in office is not going to give a shit what anybody thinks.
And
But
you know, I voted for him, but I am disappointed with this big, beautiful bill because our deficit's actually going to get worse. We got to do something
yeah,
about that shit. There's 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 only one way of fixing this problem when we have $1 trillion a year of interest, and that's to stop spending money and
Right.
pay off the principal.
Hmm.
But
But
that just sounds way too logical.
I was thinking about this morning. I Guy's been in office for 6 months.
Yeah.
He's done more in 6 months than I think the last 7 or 8 presidents have done combined. I'm hoping that this tariff money that is being generated is allocated to the principal.
I hope. I'm not
That is the
optimistic right
only
now.
way we're going to dig out of this hole. That's it. If it's that, then they know something that we don't know, and they just print money and don't care.
But why not say that though? Why not tell the American people, hey, that's why we're doing all these tariffs. We're going to pay off our national debt. Why not say it if that's what they intend to
I
do?
wonder if it's not something that he's going to drop in 12 months and go, oh, by the way, the 88 billions. Well, I mean, the numbers are huge that the tariffs are bringing in. By the way, I took that money and applied it to the principal. You would hear this entire country gasp for air, and every Democrat would die on a vine right there.
Hmm.
I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm just hoping he solves more problems before lunch that Biden ever was even cognizant of in 4 years. So, yes, I voted for him multiple times, and I'd vote for him again if I could. I don't agree. Where I'm having a problem with him right now is his DOJ is damned and determined to kill the Epstein thing, and I want that damn client list.
Yeah. I just got into a conversation though with my bride about that and her dad. Um, I, I'm curious though because you know the I'm sure they didn't keep great records. I mean, this isn't like an IRS accounting experiment where they kept accurate, perfect records of every single person that visited Epstein Island. I mean, I don't think you had to sign in. I mean, there wasn't a security check, show your ID when you land at the airport there. Um, so the list is not going to be accurate. But I also want to believe that there probably was some amount of legitimate business that occurred, as opposed to the nefarious stuff that was going on, which is just ridiculous. I mean, I feel for every one of those girls that was impacted. But the going back and forth about we have the list, we're going to release it, and now there's this discussion of we don't have a list. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
Well,
Well,
Um,
I think it,
I've seen flight logs, and I don't know that the flight logs I've seen are even truthful.
yeah.
But every damn body's name is on the flight logs, and including Trump multiple times. So on that same flight list that I saw, it was not only Trump, but Ivanka and 2 or 3 of their kids on that plane. Now, you're not going to convince me that Ivanka went to the island. And of course, not everybody who gets on an airplane with somebody else is a criminal. These rich people travel together all the time. So I'm not convinced the flight records are going to tell you anything. But I saw on Monday where Maxwell, who is the only person in jail for all of that, by the way, is ready to talk, testify in front of Congress. There was a statement made on Monday about that, and
saw that.
I'm ready. Let's go. I got extra popcorn. I'm good to go. Let's go.
I,
Let's
I
hear
don't.
what she has to say.
I don't think anyone will believe the list when and if it comes out. To your point about the logs, it's
Um,
somebody's list they made up, no matter when it happens. So I think it's a waste of time and a bunch of hot air. As much as I'd love to see the pedophiles and people that did wrong busted on it, I just don't see
Well,
it's going to happen.
I've heard one theory that in the middle of all of the problems that are currently trying to be solved, that there is enough names of foreign dignitaries in other countries to mess up a whole lot of that. And I think that I have a theory that maybe Trump is trying to squash it so that he has more leverage to get deals done with folks who got something to lose. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I did, I
That's a
did,
stretch,
I
but
did
it make
see two. I did see two earlier in the week that two judges in New York were being blamed for the list not coming out. I think that's part of the problem is that there's so many diversion tactics around whether there is a list or not and who's controlling the release of the list.
I'll bet there's some
Yeah.
kind of a list, and I'll tell you why. Blackmail. At the end of the day, somebody went to that island, regardless of Epstein and Maxwell's fault of it. They were there doing illegal things. And if shit ever hit the fan, I'd want to have somebody I could go, hey, you don't make this go away, I talk. So I think there is a list.
Yeah.
Do I think it's to your point there, Barty? Does it meet IRS guidelines for accuracy? Probably not. But the mafia keeps records. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody keeps records, something, some kind of records. But somebody needs to go to jail, and I'm sick and tired of the elite up there doing stupid shit at our expense, and all they get is a embarrassing 3 hours in front of a committee, and that's it.
Yeah.
If that were the
Well,
only
it's
consequence for me in my life, heck yeah, I'd be doing all kinds of stupid stuff. There's no accountability. There's no actual real punishment.
I agree. I just don't know if we'll ever get it resolved.
Probably not. But if we ever have a chance, it's right now with this president. 'Cause my understanding is he had a falling out with Epstein 15 years ago and hadn't talked to him since. So I'm not worried about Trump going to an island and doing something nefarious because I think the guy, regardless of what the media says, does have some fundamental scruples. He may be a flawed person, but um, I'd
Yeah.
give him the benefit of the doubt on that kind of crime.
Well, I mean, I think every politician's got their ghosts and demons and whatever else they want to hide. I mean, there's just there's too much opportunity to do stupid shit.
Yeah. And too much power to be held accountable.
Yep.
If I don't pay my taxes, I go to jail.
Oh yeah, they'll come hunt you down.
Mm-hmm.
Largest collection agency in the world.
They fake their book. Nothing. Talk about a two
This
by four. Shocker. I'd be right there with you, buddy. I'd love nothing more.
well, and then we could chase down Social Security. I mean, the amount of money we freaking pay into Social Security for what we get out of it is just it's insulting.
Yeah, and
I
Medicaid
mean,
fraud. That's where the money's at, is
yeah,
the insurance fraud on the medical side.
yep.
You'd know that, Barney.
Yeah, it's just, it's like anything else, though. It is a small percentage of people who do things they shouldn't do and they make them look bad. But just pick an industry. I mean, any industry, anywhere. I mean, you have a few real estate agents that make all the real estate agents look bad. You have a few used car salesmen that are idiots and do stupid shit, and they make all used car salesmen look bad. I mean, it's that very small percentage that just makes it hard on everybody else. Um,
Trust.
back when after 9/11, and we were all lectured about being Islamophobic. We got to stop that as a country. We shouldn't be Islamophobic. And I heard somebody as a radio host, he said, "Hey, here's an idea." He said, "If you want us to stop being Islamophobic, well, go tell the cousins to stop blowing stuff up, and we may change our view."
Dude, their theology calls for our death.
Hmm. It does.
You're not changing that. That's not something that hey, sorry guys, we were kidding. That's
Yeah.
not
Well,
really that we don't really mean that part. You know,
well, and it's kind
no,
of like
they
when
call
when
for our
people
death.
Yeah, and when people start talking about peace in the Middle East, I'm like, hey, time out. we may have little gaps where there's, it's not obvious that there's a whole bunch of fighting going on, but those people, their very theology, the way they view things and believe things, is that genocide is the only solution, and they've been called to do that. So there's never going to be long-lasting peace in the Middle East.
Starting with the
There's
Jews and ending with the West. Kill
Yeah,
them
I
all.
mean, there are certain groups that want Israel wiped off the map, and there are certain groups Israel will be happy to wipe off the map. I mean, it's just not ever going to be peaceful over there. You can't resolve it.
I think Israel should relocate.
I think there's a geographic challenge to doing that, though. Just saying.
Yeah, they just have to go west. Screw
Well,
it.
Whatever,
you
We're
can't
out of here.
you can't move the Holy Land, though.
Good point.
whatever happened to Trump's statement though, where he said he was essentially going to take control of the Gaza Strip? You recall this?
Yeah,
But
the
did
Gaza
he say
Hotel,
that?
the big
Did he say?
resort there in Gaza.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
lose track. I mean, which order did he say it in? Did he say that before he said that Canada was going to be the 51st state and that we were going to change Greenland to be a state of the United States and call it red, white, and blue land? I
yeah.
I
You
mean,
think
know
it was
what?
short.
I
I think
get
it was
them out
He's
of
shortly
got
after
order.
that.
he's got 3.5 years left. Just saying, plenty of time to buy Greenland. Plenty of time to say welcome to the United States, Canada. Plenty of time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all
I
bizarre.
think it,
I
I think
did.
it was when the whole thing was blowing up over there, Gaza, and I think the message of that was trying to use some commercialization to say, "Hey Gaza, hey Palestine, you could have a nice place here, and you're not seeing it for what it is. You could have a great industry in this country in tourism with using this land in a manner that's good for your people, rather than everybody staying poor under its leadership, except its leadership, and living in stone huts and eating dirt. You need freedom. You need to not be under the control of Hamas." But the problem with Palestinians, which is much the problem in the Middle East, they are brainwashed from childhood to want to kill Jews.
Yeah,
Purpose in your life is to kill Jews. And we all know, we all have children, we're raising children. They're manipulable. And their school teaches Islam. I've said it in the airport all the time. Every time we go to a checkpoint in the airport, which pisses me off. I'll
I'm
say
scared
it.
to I'm scared to death to hear what you yell at an airport. By the way,
Yeah,
brief
I don't
lead
yell it.
in.
I just say it. I say it loudly for fun. And I've said it to my kids multiple times, and I've used that as an excuse to say it loudly to where I know people around me are hearing it. I say, just remember, we have to do this thanks to Islam. We're doing this right now because of Islam. We have Islam to thank for this inconvenience right here, right now.
Do people
It's
back
true.
away from you? Do people back away from you when you say this?
Tell me I'm wrong. No,
I'm not
if you
arguing.
have half a brain, you know it's true. The only reason we do this is because of 9/11 and stupid shit they do with airplanes.
well, I did see a couple weeks ago that shoe bomb factories, they're back in business.
Yeah, I've
We
heard the
decided that's not an existential threat anymore.
yeah,
That's an official industry, huh?
yeah.
Well,
Well,
apparently.
in along the same lines, Israel took pagers to the next level.
Yeah, if you're sitting next
selling
to a
these
guy on a plane,
fools, yeah,
yeah, if
selling
you're
these
sitting next to a
fools
guy on an
pagers that
airplane,
explode. I mean, that's
well,
hilarious.
if you're sitting next to a guy that has a beeper on his belt and you're
Hmm.
sitting on the airplane,
Yeah,
you should be
freak the fuck
concerned.
out. Hmm. Get me off this plane.
And they're
Right.
worried about me making sure my phone's in airplane mode, which I still think is stupid. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously?
Dumb, dumb.
If I could take a plane down because I don't put my iPhone in airplane mode, what are we doing? I mean, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
So
my
we're
bra
at about
I got I
check you later, bro. See you, man.
later.
You have survived another episode of the What the Podcast. The views and opinions shared here are not the views and opinions of the sponsors. Tell your friends. Or don't. We don't care.